I'm Amy with Ask Amy Staging, and we're giving you a staging secret today. Today we're actually building a valance board or a cornice board, you will hear as well. It's a real easy constructed piece. It is just 3 pieces of wood and they're just bracketed together. The important part is this top piece and then the cleat that goes here, which helps to hang on. We'll show you how it hangs on and how the installation works later. Very, very easy project. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably rate this probably about a 7, and only because of that and the construction of this. So here we go. The important thing to do here is to make sure that we have it lined up, and we're going to pull this over, and we're going to actually just staple this. 1/4-inch staples actually work the best. So we're going to staple this. This padding will give it some extra dimension and some extra thickness. It actually covers the board so it doesn't, so you're not seeing that board sharpness look. It'll give it a more rounded look. Very, very simple. Just continue. Stapling. This is a fun project. You know, it adds so much to your windows. You'll be really, really pleased with what it does. You can add whatever color you want. What I like about it is I can change it. So say I get tired of the color or the design I have, which I do quite often, I can make that change, and it's not a real expensive change to make. The corners you have to just kind of tuck. You'll have to work with those and get that material down in there. I usually put blinds on the bottom side of the window when I'm doing this project, and then have the valance. Another trick that I do is I usually make my valance about 1 inch wider than my trim on both sides. So here is our beginning section. See how it's just a nice rounded, it's just a padded batting. The batting you can pick up at Joann's, Hobby Lobby, any of those type places. It is the cheaper stuff. It's not a real expensive batting. Next, this is the fabric we picked out. I know it's pink and I know you're all surprised, but isn't it beautiful? So we just lay this out. Make sure you have the right side facing forward, because when you do it backwards you have to start all over, so that's not a good thing. We're going to lay it down. Again, just get it here. Get your starting point, get it tucked in there nice and tight. Remember, none of this is going to show. My other staging tip is when you're doing this, when you measure to 4 inches from the ceiling. 4 inches from the ceiling, and then that gives you a nice height. So this actually will only show, like when it comes down off the window, it'll only be like a couple, like 2 inches off of the window, your trim. But what it's done is it's elevated the ceiling height, and it's made elongation, and it adds so much height to your bedroom or to whatever room you're doing, which is really, really important. I always suggest, even when you're hanging curtains, get the height. And again, 4 inches from the ceiling is a good height to go for. When I'm doing this, I'm just pulling this nice and tight. Not so tight that it's, you know, making an indentation, but just tight enough that it's not going to give a wrinkle too. This project, I would say, probably took maybe 20 minutes to build the board itself. You know, the first time out it takes a little bit more time just because it's a new project. And you can see how fast this is going, so it really does not take much time to do that. This section, pull over, and then I just kind of tuck it. My goal is to not leave any major creases here, to make it nice and taut as I can. And again here. So I've got a nice firm corner. See how nice and firm that's There's just no lines. This actually goes against the wall, so you're not going to see that. And see how nice and even that is. It didn't take much. You just kind of work with the material. It's pretty forgiving. This is one of those projects don't be worried about. It's just, you know, if it doesn't work, you can take it back off. So just experiment with it. This is my cleat where it gets hung on, so I have to make sure I keep that open. So I've made sure I kept that clear. We are almost done. I'm on the other end. This is our last of our 4 sides. Told you, it's a fast project. And the end result is amazing. You will be so happy you did this project. Again, see how I'm just just layering it and folding it so I get exactly where I want. Make it nice and tight. We are almost done. Coming across the finish line as we speak. I feel like this is a race or something, but I'm just trying to show you how simple of a project this really is. Okay, we ready to see the end project? Here we go, you're the first ones to see. There is your cornice board. See, it's nice and straight, nice and flat. Beautiful piece.